Welcome to the Maurice on Home Show on Carib101 Radio Show Without Boundaries. We're here today with Maurice Anderson from Roller Page Credit Valley, the voice of the people, Mr. Rohan Chambers.
Good morning, y'all.
And the man that you cannot see with the... I have nothing
Ones
else
and twos,
Thank
man.
you. Ones and twos, the ones and twos. DJ Rich Links, how you doing today?
What up, folks? What up, folks?
Also, Happy New Year. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to everyone. I hope
Yes.
everyone had a great one. Everyone got home safe that night and had a great old time like I did.
Hashtag Big Things 2017. Make it happen, people.
Forward movement up.
Exactly. And this year we have a great guest line. Well, a bunch of great guests lined up for you this year. We have. Should I give out the details? At least one of the guests, or just save it as a surprise? What do you think?
No, I think we should save it as a surprise. People have gone to trust us over the last couple of months. 2016, we did a good thing. So I think people are going to tune in regardless of who makes an appearance. But we got some good people lined up for you. Don't worry about it.
Definitely true. Okay, so today what we're going to talk about is one of the ways that you can help save yourself money with your property is to actually think outside the box. And when I say that, because I've said that a lot in the past couple of shows, is to actually do renovations during the winter time. I like to call it wonderful winter renovations, and that's actually in one of the articles that I wrote for Toronto Caribbean newspaper. Can you pass me that beautiful masterpiece right there, please? Thank you very much. Toronto Caribbean newspaper. It's in the latest edition, wonderful winter renovations. Mainly because one of the main reasons is the cost for materials is actually cheaper in the wintertime because not a lot of people do renovations, so they don't make a lot of sales. And Mr. DJ Rich Links, who's also an expert construction renovator as
I
well.
wouldn't say expert, but I am
Okay.
in the field.
Well, okay.
He knows a little something.
He knows a
I
little
got my
something.
foot in the. I got the foot in the door on that. Yeah.
And if I was to ever tell anybody any wrong information, because you know more about that than me, because you've been doing the work for quite some time,
Yeah.
please just don't put your foot in my mouth, but just,
No.
yeah,
no.
just
I
just
won't
correct
be
me.
doing any of that sort of stuff.
Hopefully not ever.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah, exactly. So, so what do you think about that, Rohan?
You know what? It's a good idea, right? Like, I know people in the industry. Like, my dad and his friends are contractors, so this time of year is a good time. People don't really think about it. There's a lot of good reasons why you should, from consumer standpoint, right? It's New Year's. Everybody wants to start something hard. Why not you pick a renovation opposed to the traditional, hey, I'm going to go to the gym. Hey, I'm going to start, eating right, that kind of stuff. A lot of people jump on that bandwagon, but they forget, some of the simpler things around them that they can actually manage, right?
Very true.
So, it's a good idea. Anytime's a good time to get a renovation started. Really, it's starting. Like, anything you want to do worth doing, you got to start it, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. And one of the things I used to have a lisp when I was younger. This has nothing to do with the show, but because I have trouble saying this word. Usually, statistically speaking, I have to pronounce every letter to get it out. Statistically speaking, anybody who does create a New Year's resolution doesn't usually go through with it, and that's almost common knowledge nowadays. But when it comes to your home, there would be no reason why you shouldn't reinvest in your home because that's money you're almost guaranteed to make back.
Yeah.
So instead of going, as you said, going to the gym to do fitness, get your health back on track, which is good and very important at the same time. I'm not knocking that. Just make sure that you can actually start your innovations now because the last thing you want to do is start in the springtime when the market's already hot. There's already 2 times more houses there is right now available on the market.
Exactly.
And you're in a rush to get it done.
And put it that way, right? Like, you are in the mindset, I'm going to sell my home. Best time to try and sell or even buy a home is going to be the summer. So there's already a big rush. Like, think about how we always compact the summer. You're going to spend more time with your family. You're going to be spending more time with your friends. You're going to be more social. You're going to be doing this. You're going to be doing that. Why would you want to, have so much emphasis on a short period of time, right? Remember, there's only 2 seasons in Canada. There's winter and then barbecue season. So, you don't want to overwhelm the better time of the year with so much work. So start your renovations now. Make sure you get on that. It makes it easier to call someone like this guy, Mr. Maurice,
on homes and there's
when it can help you sell your home. But there's a lot of things people overlook, right? Like, think about it. You're not busy, so that means the contractors aren't that busy because they're not dropping homes like it's Walmart, right? Like, you can get them in a good scheduled time. You can probably work with them quicker because they're not managing a lot of jobs at the same time.
you even get a cheaper rate because they don't have that much business, so you can have the room to negotiate. Because
Exactly.
in the summertime, if you were to do that, okay, you're not serious about paying me what I know I'm worth. I'll just go to somebody else who will pay me.
Exactly.
It's a little bit easier for you to have that negotiating room.
So, yeah, I don't want to, put the contractors in a bad place because they'll benefit. They'll probably appreciate having that kind of work and keep them busy during the winter times. Maybe something indoors where they're able to work with you. And who knows, you might be able to get a better deal or a faster,
deal.
more likely, faster on-time renovation because they're not competing for time. You'd have more options available for you to be able to get the right contractor, and it won't be as stressful, right? Because you don't have to worry about so many things at the same time. And it's not just these guys, right? Like going to your Walmart, like Home Depot, your Ronas, your Lowe's. They're probably liquidating a lot of material, so you can probably get that on the cheap as well, right? You're getting them when they're trying to get ready for the next season. So who wants to save money? Everybody. So,
I do.
I want to spend more, says the guy never, right? So, there's a lot of good reasons, and even the permits. If you have to do something, the city's going to be quiet this time of year too, right? Everybody's just kind of doing some shuffling some paperwork, so you might be able to get that deck or extension approved real quick, right?
Exactly, and that does take a lot more work than, say, for example, a backsplash and tiling. Like, I remember, was it last year or this year, Rich, that me and you were working on a renovation for a building?
Theoretically, it was last year.
Oh, yeah. Happy New Year, right?
Yes, Happy New Year. Theoretically, it was last year. But no, it was in the 16. It was 2016 where we were doing that.
So even just putting down tiling for your floor or even a backsplash is very easy, simple to do. It only take like an hour or two, depending on how big your room is, obviously. And if you want to make sure the workmanship is good.
Pre-plan, right? Do a dry fitting, do a dry walkthrough of everything you're about to do. Look for the intangible stuff as well. Like, it's simple as the lining, making sure that it's all in line. Like, you don't want jagged lines when you have this, put your tiles down and you look at it and it's all jagged. Or if your floor is not even, and you want to make sure that the floor is even.
Exactly. And I say that just to say this. You don't have to spend all your money on the contractors to do every job that needs to get done.
DIY.
Exactly, DIY. Make the simple jobs a DIY. Don't try and renovate your whole kitchen, because then you're going to waste a lot more valuable time. Time is something you can't get back. Money on the materials that you spent and wasted because you didn't do the job properly. And then you're going to have to hire a contractor, probably one of Rich's friends or Rohan's dad, to come and fix the job. See how I just put in that plug right there?
All about the plugs.
But yeah, just be smart with your renovations. What we're going to do right now is going to go away for 3 minutes.
We're going to do a plug of our own.
Exactly. We're going to pay some bills. DJ Ritual is going to take it away for a minute and a half. And first, we're going to just play these commercials, and we'll be right back.
Been so far today? It's been absolutely amazing. It's only the morning time and we've had such a crazy response, having so much fun, and now people are starting to come in. So if you haven't showed up yet, make sure you get down here, still time.
Welcome back to the Maurice on Home Show with Carib101. If you're listening to us live on the website or through iTunes, make sure you go to the Facebook fan page, like our page, so you can see what's happening live in studio. Today we're talking about the wonderful winter renovations that you can do for your property to save yourself some money. And as I mentioned before, we have Voice of the People on the show.
Yeah.
as usual.
I'm
No
always
longer
here.
a special guest, right?
I'm always special, but never a guest.
Exactly. And DJ Rich Links on the ones and twos, giving you those beats to rock your head to and potentially make a bigger family for your home.
Big up Rich Lakes. Big up Rich Lakes. He's always here to spend the 1 and 2 for us, family thing. But you know what? He's there for you too, man. Link him up, man. He's always good to drop, some sick beats. Actually, like, sidebar, weren't you like turning it up this weekend with the countdown?
Oh yeah,
big
I was out in
party thing?
Pickering, had a nice little house party out there.
Yeah,
You
man.
know, held a nice little vibe. Nice little vibe.
As
Yeah,
usual,
big
as
people
usual.
thing. So no foolishness, no craziness.
No
Did a
worries,
little
no
post on
troubles.
Facebook, but it was no music. It was the talk session that we had after the 12 o'clock drop. We all gathered around upstairs and we just expressed what we had experienced in 16 and what we look forward to 17.
That's
Nice.
true. That's true. And he's always working. He has a lot of summer events coming up. So keep lock on this show to hear what will be coming up in the next couple months for DJ Rich Links. But going back to the episode, as I mentioned today, we're talking about renovations that you can do to help save yourself some money during the season, which is the off season for renovations. Because if you think about it, as soon as you walk outside, you hear the birds chirping, you see a couple people in shorts, even when it's 2 degrees outside, because they're happy springtime is around the corner. You start seeing renovators doing roofings, for example, to start.
Yeah.
And then after that, you start seeing dump trucks where they're doing basements, driveways, so on and so forth. But you don't really see much activity as soon as the weather gets cold.
Yeah.
And most people don't think they can do renovations at this time. They can. It'll actually save you at least 20%. Say, for example, a kitchen is $15,000 or a basement is $15,000, which are the two main things you can do to increase the value of a property. Well, Rohan, can you help me out here? Tell me what 20% of $15,000 would be.
Well, you're saving about
Approximately?
$3,000. You're down to 12 G's, man. That's a good stack
Right.
to kind of either put back in the bank, reinvest, maybe invest in another property so you can have an income property.
And let's
Roll
just-
back to the old shows, get some advice from there, or even just like spend some money on me. I like that money too. So if you want to hit me up,
A dollar a person will do me mighty.
exactly. Send $1. You happy dude? People know the Simpsons. They don't know that joke.
All right.
And to be honest, if you don't want to spend the money on us because you're just spending more money, which is understandable, we're only human. We want to save sometimes, or even spend it on our family. That's $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, depending on the job that you're doing, that you're saving. Spend it back on your family. That's a trip to Disneyland, right there for
Really
your
and truly.
family.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
a trip to
yeah, or
Disneyland.
a cruise. A good
Right.
cruise, man.
Really and
Yeah,
truly.
man.
Yep.
And instead of having to take that $4,000 or $5,000 you would have spent on your renovation plus another $5,000 for your family, you just got two things for the price of one. And you know why? Somebody here asked me why.
Why?
Because the Maurice on Home Show just gave you some great advice.
What?
Now imagine. Yeah, can you imagine what we can do when we're trying to help you sell your property?
Yeah.
The limits are endless. Now, if you don't want to do the kitchen, you can even, like, for example, I have a client right now who lives in Hamilton, and the Hamilton market, as we discussed before, is slightly different from Toronto. The
Yep.
properties are cheaper. There's a lot of activity in Hamilton right now. They're seeing a percentage and increase in sales and price on a rise like Toronto was back in the 70s and 80s. So it's booming a lot right now. And what you can do even is renovate your attic and make that attic space into a upstairs man cave, if you want to call it that,
Yeah.
for example, right? Or even another bedroom for a guest.
Or storage, right? Think about it this way. You have your attic sitting there doing nothing. Everybody throws everything in the basement. Maybe you can make the attic where you would basement be, and your basement could be another entertainment area, a playroom for your kids, a spare bedroom for the in-laws, whatever you need it done. There's a lot of options for you. And like we were saying, don't wait until you see the signs of summer, right? The dump trucks, the renovations, the construction, that kind of stuff. Get ahead of the game. That way you can make sure that when that time comes around, you're chilling. You're winning because you already put in the work and you got her done. So you can be the one entertaining. Think about it this way. You're like, oh, hey, you're doing renovations, Maurice, at your house? Oh, okay, that kind of sucks. When are you going to have your next barbecue? Well, I can't because I'm finishing my renovation. I haven't finished my deck yet. Well, then come over to my base. I already finished mine in, April. Wop pop. right? You can be the place that's happening during the summer while everybody's still dragging their knuckles on a renovation. So there's different ways of looking at it. And of course, like we said, you can save a lot of money, right? Everybody's trying to liquidate their merchandise. So why not get that toilet on sale? Why don't you get that vanity, on a good deal from those renovation
Very
places,
true,
right?
very true. A couple points I do want to make, though. I'd never sound like that. His impression was off horribly. And there has been times where I did have to get a new toilet myself. So, because Rich Links came over and mashed it up.
And I seen what he did to it, and I had to walk right out and go to Tim Hortons.
Okay. Dirty laundry. Yeah, renovate that
I
laundry
thought that
room
was
too.
private information. I appreciate you just blasted it all
Hey,
over the
man,
internet.
you wanted to go there, my friend, and I'm not letting you put me in that trap.
Nope.
I tried. I'll get you back next time. But yeah, there's always better ways for you to get it done. Just think outside the box. And one of the things that I did want to touch on as well is if you don't know what to do, make sure that you call somebody.
Call this guy. He'll tell you. He'll come check out your house and be like, you know what? I can get you this, but if you do that, then you'll get more. We got a lot of suggestions for you. We'll be able to find you something to do and make sure that you get the best value for your dollar. Wow. I'm trying to stutter now, too.
Sound like you have a list? Just be realistic, basically. You don't want to add your emotional attachment to your property when you're trying to sell it. Granted, it's almost impossible to do because it's sentimental to you, obviously. But the job of the contractor, the job of the real estate agent, the job of the buyer, the mortgage broker, everybody else that's trying to help you get your new property and get rid of your old is to be level-headed and conscious, because we don't have that attachment to your property. So we're really going to know exactly what you can get for that property based on what the market's asking for right now. That way you can get your top dollar while also getting the new home that you so dream of having. Build that relationship, right? Exactly.
You need to be able to trust who's helping you out. That everybody needs allies, as I always say, right? In this war on life, you need people around you that can help you and get you where you need to be. And you know what? Getting the right mortgage agent, getting the right contractor, getting the right, financial specialist, all those things will be important towards the elements of your life and get you to a happy place. Nobody wants stress. Nobody wants problems. Make sure you got everything going on. But, at the end of the day, you just got to do you, right?
At the end of the day, it does take a village, which is why there's so many different moving parts within buying and selling. And okay, I can't help it because I like to give surprises, but at the same time, I can't hold them in sometimes. So I'm just gonna give a little sneak peek into a future episode. We will be having other mortgage agents on the show, real estate lawyers on the show, so you can find out exactly how much closing costs are. I was speaking to a client earlier on. Well, a potential client earlier on last week who was thinking about buying a property, but she was under the impression that closing costs is $60,000.
Hey, man.
Which, if that was the case, I don't think anybody could afford a home.
No, but
that's like a year's salary and then some for majority of the people.
Yeah.
A regular
2 years salary for most.
Yeah,
Yeah,
most people.
exactly,
Average salary
It's about
is like $32,000. So yeah, that's
Yeah.
about 2 years,
Yeah.
and that's before tax. So
Yep,
Yeah.
yep.
The closing costs are not that expensive. What that would have probably been, depending on the cost of the home, obviously, is closing costs, real estate agent fees, lawyer fees, and everything in between, basically. But it doesn't cost you that much. And my brother, for example, he's looking to buy his home within the next year.
all right.
Now, he only has $7,000 saved. But as we've learned, as you've learned, based on the previous shows that have aired, instead of going to a bank or even a mortgage broker, if you don't have the means to do so based on your credit score, you can always do a joint venture or ask somebody who is a private lender to give you the extra money that you would require to get that down payment for the home.
Don't get it twisted. We're not talking about like payday loan guys.
No,
right?
no, not
private lender. People
Private lender.
like you and
Those are
me.
death traps.
Exactly. People
Bank
like you
death
and
traps.
me.
It's a
Yo.
cycle.
Oh,
A
man.
bad cycle.
Bad cycle of
Nah,
losing
man.
money.
Nah, man.
And the higher you go, the worse it gets. Don't
Exactly.
borrow. If you borrow and keep it at the bare minimum, and pay that quick and try to get out of it quick.
Yeah, we know life happens, and sometimes you kind of have to make choices you're not about. But you know what? Don't make that your first choice. Try and make that your last, because at the end of the day, you know what? You're gonna have to be paying that back in spades. But what we mean by that is like people who have money, your average day Joes, who's been organized by a broker, like you saw on one of our previous shows. What was that guy's name again?
Which one? We had a couple.
The one who's talking about like getting people's investment, and you
Chris.
Yes.
Chris Niccolo.
So yeah, you help a person with a mortgage, and then you get a little residual at the end of the year. So there's ways about getting money, but on the flip side, there's ways for you to get access to money. So you know what, like Maurice said, takes a village. Sometimes the village can help you, so you can get your home. There's different ways to think about it, and that's why we're telling you to tune into this show. Because there's a lot of conversations that people don't have. Either you don't know, or you don't want to know, or you don't want to talk about. So we can talk about it for you. You can send us a drop on the Facebook page. You can email us. You can email Maurice. You say, hey, I have a question. Let us do a little research for you. We'll be happy to let you know either onshore or offline. But at the end of the day, it's the conversation that we want to stimulate with our fans and interesting minds at the same
time. Now, I do have to warn you that if you do end up calling me, emailing me, messaging me, there may be a chance you will not come off the phone for at least a half an hour.
Yeah, you'll talk.
Because once I start, I don't stop. I had the phone call with somebody who just had two questions about buying a property. How much are closing costs? Where can they afford? Because Toronto's too expensive. The media has a negative portrayal on the market. Bubble this, bubble that. New home buyer mortgage stress test. They don't really talk about the benefits of having a home, usually, unless you actually watch a show on like HGTV or Bravo. But if you call me, I'm going to go in depth because this is what I do. This is what I love. And because I love it so much, unfortunately, I'm going to have to take a quick break. Looking at the time, we do have to pay some bills. This is still a business at the end of the day. We'll be right back in a few minutes on the Maurice on Home Show on Carib101.
Yeah.
In a sea of people, it's easy to get lost amongst all the stories we have to tell. With this platform, a new voice is being heard, one that offers real insight to transform, educate, and inspire greatness, always building, nurturing, and evolving with the times. Our goal is to make a statement, to transform the world, and engage all of its citizens. Accepting multiculturalism is taking the first step, and listening to each other, uniting towards positive change. It's not about any one race, religion, or culture, but about uplifting and empowering one another. Standing above segregation is our game. Our vision is to expand, to create and implement change, zeroing in on what matters the most. Banding together to preserve and celebrate our heritage, cultures, and community spirit. Become inspired by real people, your friends and family, and see that impact within our society. Be proud of the work we have done together. Community focused, we are the Toronto Caribbean newspaper.
Maurice on Homes. Welcome back to the Maurice on Home Show on Carib101, a radio show without boundaries. If you're listening to us, live right now on the website or on iTunes, make sure you tune into the Facebook fan page on Carib101, so you can see Mr. Rohan Chambers, aka the voice of the people.
Yeah, we're here, and you know what? You can continue listening to DJ Rich Links on Carib101 Radio.
Hey, I'm gonna kick that for my drop.
Seriously, can you make mine too?
Make that my drop.
Yeah, man.
Carry over to my show when I started up.
Hey,
I let a cat out the bag.
Hey, I got you. I got you. Hey, 2017 big things. Go on. You know what? We appreciate you tuning in. In doing so, we kind of let the the 1s and 2 run a little longer for you, so you guys can get ready for work. Yes, I'm sorry. You're coming back from Christmas break, and you got to go and do it. Got to get paid. But you know what? We want to make sure that you guys get off on a good beat. We're just kind of, chatting, doing what we do. We were talking about, one what was it? Winter Wonder.
Wonderful winter renovations.
Wow,
It just
fail.
rolls off the tongue like it's Spanish or something.
I know,
you
Espanol, si,
know.
senor. Okay, so, yeah, so we were talking about that. We went over some of the benefits, like getting at your contractors early, making sure that they can stay on schedule,
Yes,
getting
yes.
the jobs a little bit cheaper, either saving on materials or time, and just starting the year good, while you're, dropping those D's at the gym, you know what? You come home to your castle. Let's call it the castle, and getting those renovations done. So when it's barbecue season, you can invite people to enjoy, and opposed to, hey, we can't run it this year because my basement's being done. Or
I'm
my deck's
always
being
open to
dropped.
accepting barbecues and food.
Oh yeah, no.
Just to let you know and put it out there. Call me anytime. I will be there. I may have to bring a jerk chicken or two, but I won't come empty-handed, that's for sure.
Well, yeah, no, definitely. One thing for our viewers, though, let me ask you, Maurice. So now that they've taken the opportunity to, get their reno on and they're good to go, when they're in that process of getting ready to sell their home, with the spring and stuff like that, is there any, spring renovation type or spring get ready for the summer things that they can do to get themselves on deck?
Yeah, they can do some decluttering.
Oh, yeah.
If you're serious about selling, you have to declutter. Because although it may look good, your taste is fantastic. You could even be a professional stager because your style is so great. At the end of the day, you're not there to show what your house looks like when you live in it. You're there to allow other people to see what it could look like when they live in it. The only way that they can do that is if you take most of your stuff out, put it away in the garage, or if you have too much stuff, you can even rent a storage for a very cost-effective price. There's many of them, ranging from $10 to $50 a month.
Yeah, if you do your research, you can find a good place. Or, if you have some good friends or family, let me borrow your garage for a minute.
Exactly. And
Let me kind of throw it in there.
The house is priced right. You most likely won't need that for any more than 30 days.
Yeah.
And I can guarantee that because I'm good at what I do. But yeah, definitely you can declutter. Make sure that you springtime, because a lot of trees, do the leaves fall off the trees in the springtime as well, or is it just when in the fall time?
No, just the fall.
Just the fall.
Yeah.
What about the buds?
The buds fall.
Yeah, okay,
The
so
buds
either way, you're
sometimes
still gonna have
fall.
to clean a little bit on your front lawn to make sure that the curb appeal is there. Do some decluttering. Paint if you can.
Yeah.
Paint goes a long way. If you have, I've walked into homes and the paint on their wall, to be honest, is just disgusting. Like, I personally would not live in a home that's colored. I don't know anything apart from primary color, so don't judge me. But, for example, if you could see Rich's face right now, if you could change that into a color that's something like brownish green, that's exactly what it looked like. But do neutral colors, gray, have an accent wall of red. Red always looks good in a home. Yeah. You can never go wrong with that. What about yourself? What color did you paint your home?
Well, in the working areas, I kind of have a nice grayish white. It's a nice neutral color, but it still has a professional. It's not as dark. It's not that clean. A lot of the living spaces, it's more of a brown, a yellowy tone. There's burgundy. Red is kind of a harsh color, so burgundy kind of matches pretty well.
That just goes to prove the point. I only said I know primary colors.
Yeah.
Right?
But that's kind of what we're getting on the show, right?
Yeah.
Like, when you're getting ready to sell your home, there's a lot of steps that go into it. And again, a lot of people are like, I'm going to sell my home in June. So they start getting ready in April? That's not enough time for you to get ready.
That's too late.
That's too late. By the time you call someone to get some help, like, put it this way, you're going to sell your home. And then you're like, okay, I call Maurice. He comes in. He sees puke brown on your wall. So he says, you know what? I need you to paint. All right, fine. I'll paint next weekend. Okay, and then you do your painting, and your first person comes in and says, okay, you got a leaky roof. Okay, now you got to fix that. There's a crack in your foundation in the basement. Look how much, and I'm just saying hypothetical, but look how much work you just gave yourself. If you started this process in January, February, and said, hey, you know what, Maurice, I'm planning on selling my home in June. He'll come see you.
I'll do you one better. I'll
Right?
come see you. I'll tell you what color you should paint it. I'll even come and help you paint it. I'm a very helpful guy.
Yeah. So you see that?
No
now
objections here?
Now
No?
you gave
No?
yourself
Okay.
time.
I see you looking at me.
He is helpful.
I'm a
You know
very
what?
helpful guy.
Yeah, that's why I didn't have nothing to say.
Yeah,
You know,
so-
I have to give him his credit where credit is due
In a
sometimes.
in a clutch, he's reliable. On the flex, you know what? He may take a minute, but you know what? At the end of the day, we're here to help our fans because he's good to us and we're good to him. But that's a side note. But like I said, being responsible with the thing, you want to make sure you give yourself enough time to work because at the end of the day, nobody wants to do anything in a rush. Life brings us a lot of surprises, and you don't want to have to be bombarded with a lot of things while you're trying to stay at home because, like we said, it's very emotional. Last thing you don't want is be like, oh man, I did all these things in such a quick time and I should get a good return, and you don't get a good return, and then you feel burnt because you're like, I worked so hard to do this.
Exactly. You're going to make the worst decisions, regardless if you're talking about a home, family decisions, buying a car, vacation, when you're in a rush. Because you don't have the time to think through your selection naturally.
Yeah.
Because you just want to get it done.
Yeah.
The last thing you want to do when it comes to a home is just to get it done. You don't want to just to get it done. You want to make sure it's done right.
Yeah.
Make it right before it goes wrong.
Uh,
See, I added on.
yeah, because we don't need
Yeah,
somebody
no,
in
I
particular
know.
to come and be like copyright infringement.
No, not at all. Exactly. So
Goes
before,
right back to what I was saying. Pre-plan, do everything, oversee everything, go through things 2, 3, 4 times before you make that initial call. Go over everything yourself. If you have a question and you don't know who to call, go to everybody's best friend, Google.
Maurice Anderson, not Google.
AKA Google.
Maurice.
AKA Google.
Hey,
yeah,
man.
anything
Yeah.
on homes, go to Google Maurice.
Exactly.
Yeah, man.
Exactly.
He'll tell you what you need to
Google
know.
him all day, all night.
day,
He'll be here.
Yep, weekends too.
Well, yeah, no. What else should people get ready for? Like, like I said, we're gonna move in the summer. We're getting ready. And
Okay. In addition to that, even though I should start doing this at the beginning of the show, actually.
Mm.
So I have a couple more contests coming up because the last one was so successful. We had a couple winners that we gave away for the Christmas holiday season. Spa packages from Milana Spa that was worth $200. The package that we gave you 50% off. So you got a manicure, pedicure, facial, and a massage for $100, which a massage in itself usually is around $50 to $100 and up, depending on the type of massage you get. But because at Carib101 and Maurice Anderson with the Maurice on Home show and the partnerships that we've created, we were able to give you that great discount and that great deal. So we have other contests coming up for Valentine's Day, St. Patrick's Day.
Any other holidays we can do? And you know what?
We have a lot more. I just don't have them in front of me to tell you. But yeah, sorry.
And you know what? We got a lot of stuff for you guys to win. So make sure you tune in. We got our fans, but we want to see more family on this aspect. Let your friends know, share, pass it on. There's a good reason to tune in with us. If it's not for the information, the jokes. If it's not for the jokes, the tunes. If it's not for the tunes, it's our pretty faces. There's a good reason to tune in to Carib101, especially on the Maurice on Home show. And subsequently, all the other programming this, wonderful station has to provide all of our gentle people.
Such as Real Talk with Grant and Alyssa. Brandon's show, The Breakthrough. If you're looking for that motivational kick to get your life in the right direction, tune in every single day of the week. Go on the website. You can see what shows are being aired. Keep in mind, though, this show's aired every Tuesday, 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. And we will see you next week. DJ Richlings will take it away. Voice of the People, thanks for coming back as
Yes,
you
sir.
do every single week. And we'll see you next week on the Maurice on Home Show. Carib101 Radio without boundaries. Have a nice day.
All great leaders begin with a vision to start a movement, to make a real impact in society, communicating their message and aligning themselves with like-minded people to equip and inspire others to attain their vision. Creating a vital, healthy community is a group effort, and at the heart of it, you'll find local businesses and organizations fueled by committed people who are passionate about building a better tomorrow for us all. The Toronto Caribbean newspaper has started their own movement, promising to focus on the needs of the community, seeking out relationships with businesses and corporations that share in that same mission. We are legacy builders with one shot to make a difference, and together we can empower the community by adding value, instilling self-worth, and showcasing the cultural identity of our beautiful and ethnically diverse community. As business leaders, we have a corporate responsibility to set the tone of our community with principles led by performance-focused results. By combining our reach, we can provide a platform to establish and share our contributions with the world. We are all people working for companies that are interested in building a better community, helping people stand tall and be proud of their culture. If anybody has ever done it, then you can too. We are all capable, and working together, combining our skills and resources, we can make a change and leave behind an unforgettable legacy.